Jungkook and Jin's private conversation. A private conversation between two BTS members, Jungkook and Jin, was recently leaked to the public, attracting the attention of fans around the world. The conversation that took place in a military atmosphere that should have been normal actually revealed the emotional side and vulnerability of both of them. The moment reveals that despite their fame and fortune, the two are still searching for a deeper understanding of life and true love. Jungkook revealed to have doubts in his life. In the conversation, Jungkook expressed deep doubts about himself. Even though he is known as a confident figure on stage, he apparently has fears and worries about his identity as an ordinary person, not just an idol. "I want someone who can understand me completely, not just as Jungkook BTS, but as the real me," he said in a voice full of emotion. Jin feels his friend's emotional burden. Hearing this confession, Jin, who is usually known to be cheerful and an entertainer for many people, seemed silent and full of emotion. He felt deep sadness, knowing very well what it was like to feel empty despite being at the peak of success. For Jin, this was a touching moment, where he realized how big a burden Jungkook carried in silence. Self-acceptance and longing for love. Jungkook not only talks about looking for love, but also about self-acceptance. He longs for someone who can see all his flaws and still love him for who he is. "I'm afraid I'll never find it. What if I'm too busy with work and miss the chance to love someone?" Jungkook said in a voice full of anxiety. Jin provides support to Jungkook. After hearing this confession, Jin tried to strengthen Jungkook with meaningful words. "I also feel the same way. Sometimes we feel lonely even though we are surrounded by lots of people, but I believe that if we stay true to ourselves, the right person will come in time," said Jin wisely. Even though the two live in different worlds, their closeness as friends helps them understand each other. Jungkook starts writing to understand his feelings. In the midst of his busy life, Jungkook started writing in a small book to help himself understand his feelings. Writing became a way for him to express hidden fears and longings. "I started writing this since we came here. It helps me understand how I really feel," Jungkook said to Jin, who felt moved reading the emotional words written in the book. Jin encourages Jungkook not to be afraid. Jin encouraged Jungkook not to be afraid to be himself, even though he felt a lot of doubts in his heart. "No one is perfect, even you, with all your talents and kindness, are just ordinary people. That's what makes you special," said Jin. Even though Jungkook feels a little comforted, the big question remains on his mind: will the right person come along to love him for who he is? Jin faces questions about his own life. One night, after a long conversation with Jungkook, Jin fell silent when Jungkook asked, "Then what about you, Hyung? Have you found what you were looking for?" The question made Jin realize that even though he was always trying to help Jungkook, he himself might still be looking for answers to the same questions. This adds depth to their friendship. Hope for the future and search for peace. The following days passed in a military routine, but deeper feelings about the search for the meaning of life remained in the hearts of both of them. Jungkook and Jin went through training enthusiastically, but at certain moments, Jin always stole glances at Jungkook, making sure that his friend was okay. Even though both of them face many challenges, they remind each other that their journey in life will not be done alone. Searching for true love and acceptance. One night, after talking about their feelings, Jungkook finally said, "I know what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for someone perfect, I just want someone who is willing to fight with me through all the ups and downs." Jean smiled at those words, feeling confident that his best friend would find true love one day. Even though they still have a long way to go, one thing that is certain is that they will always support each other, facing a world full of challenges together.